Today, we are going to go over all things components or families in Revit. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I post new videos weekly to learn more tips, tricks, and tutorials about Revit for residential architects. So let's get started. Families are the elements that your model is made of. There are two kinds of families in Revit. There are system families and there are hosted or component families. System families are hardwired into the program. They can only be found within the model and cannot be saved or stored as a family file. Examples of these are floors, walls, ceilings, and roofs. Revit should have all the settings within the program to make whatever custom floor or ceiling or roof you need to complete your model. Hosted or component families are stored in a separate directory as a family file and can be inserted into the project similar to an AutoCAD dynamic block. So examples of hosted or component families are doors, windows, furniture, casework, etc. So if you go to the Architecture tab, you will notice under Component you have a drop-down with two options. We have Place a Component and we have Model in Place. Place a Component, that will lead you to a list of all the families that you have loaded into your project. And it also has a search function here. Something that I like to use, if you scroll down in your project browser, under Families, you can go find the category that you're looking for. Say I'm looking for a casework family and an island, and you can simply click on it, drag, and drop it into your model. So going back to the Architecture tab and the Component, we also have a Model in Place. This is a family that you are modeling, extruding elements up, making it 3D, but it can't be saved as a family file. So you couldn't save it and use it again. So we're only going to talk about regular components today. Some families are hosted to other elements in the model. For example, if I have a family in here called Undermount Sink. This needs to be hosted to a plane. So if we were to look up at the placement here, I can select what plane I want to attach it to, either a vertical face, a horizontal face, or a work plane. So you can see I can't just place this sink anywhere it's not letting me. But if I were to say place on face, and I zoom into this island, now it's going to let me when I hover over the island, and I can place it. Window and door families are also hosted families. They're hosted to a wall. So you must have a wall drawn in order to place a window or a door. So if I were to click on the window family, so if I just hover in space, it won't let me. I have to hover over a wall in order to place my component. Something else when you're inserting components, you can press the space bar and it will rotate those components to the direction that you want before you click it and place it. It'll even go on an angle if you have an angled wall. If you look in a link below this video, I have a link to lead you to a free download that is the 10 top things that you must know in order to be successful in Revit. One of those things that's on there is the difference between type parameter and instance parameters. Type parameter will change every occurrence of that element. An instance parameter will make a change only to the element that you have selected. Let's take, for example, these 4 doors that I have. They are the same door, all 4 of them. If I were to look at the properties palette, the ones right here that are showing up when I click on the door, these are instance parameters. So anything I put here, these are instance parameters. They only affect that one instance of the door. So if I change this mark to 101, it's only going to affect this one. It's not going to affect all of them. If we go to edit type, these are type parameters. Any change I'm going to make here is going to make a change to all 4 of those doors. So when editing families that are parametric, meaning you can change the height and the width of them and they will change automatically in every view, it is important to click duplicate. let's say I'm going to make this a 4 foot by 8 foot interior door. Now I can go and make the changes to make that 4 feet wide instead of 6 feet wide. And then only the one I had selected is going to change. That is going to be a common thing that you do. Edit, type, duplicate, and rename to change the parameters. You want to be very deliberate on changing any of the parameters and make sure that you know it's going to change everything in the model when you're changing type parameters without duplicating it first. So let's talk about locations on where to get families. Autodesk provides a lot of content that will really help you get started. So when you're in the architecture component command, you can go to load family. And this will take you to the Imperial or your metric library. And it's categorized by the category in Revit. So if you are looking for a door, you go to the doors and you can just scroll through and see which door you want to use. If your computer for some reason is missing the content library, if you go to the Insert tab and get Autodesk content, that will lead you to a website where you can download Autodesk's library. A couple other websites that will help you find content if you are looking for something unique or something that Autodesk doesn't provide is BIM Objects and Revit City. I will provide the link to both of those websites below this video. I would use caution when importing families from the internet. Sometimes they come with a lot of baggage and can slow down the performance of your model considerably in some cases. You can also become a Patreon member of mine and request families from me that I will make for you, or if I have in my library, I can provide for you. That link is also below. Next up, we will go over ceilings. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.